the recap's sort of, the same as it has been. The party's traveled across the seas here. I don't think it's the Crystal Tides. I can't remember which one it is now. Heading to Bon Lodir, a volcano island on the very western part of this quarter of the planet. Meridian lines a little further to the west of this island prevent travel to the south and to the west. Gigantic swirling whirlpools, storms, creatures, all sorts of nasty stuff. The party last session saved a ship, or saved a crew that had their ship stuck in the very edge of one of these whirlpools. As they were pulling into dock, Brixie went to take a closer look at one of the creatures. A massive creature beneath the waves, and caught its attention, unfortunately, and found herself in a very tough situation. Was unable to escape, and perished within the mouth of this creature. However, as Eowyn had flown after her to assess and hopefully save or help Brixie, the creature had also, she had caught the creature's eye after, and as it raced and swelled out of the water for her, Brixie's druidic spirit became a light and stopped the creature in its tracks there long enough for Eowyn to safely escape. The creature returned to the water after that, and the ship was pulling in towards the dock as we left last week. So I'll read an opening scene here. We can get ourselves in the zone. Our field of vision focuses, and we find ourselves soaring over the ocean along the meridian line. Raging storms clash and boom overhead. Torrential rains batter the waves in heavy sheets as winds push us about at their whim. Massive whirlpools swirl against one another, each the size of a sea itself. Massive creatures swell the waves and dive back into the depths. We race on, for days, for weeks, until finally the tempest settles and we breach its outer edge. A sailboat drifts along a rocky shoreline, heading toward dock with a sullen crew in tow. Let us rest after our long journey across the waters. Let us settle now with this intrepid group of adventurers, packing their belongings, making plans, and steadying themselves as they try to push forward once again into the unknown tonight on Stormfall. Boat's approaching the dock. And I'll let you all take it away.
Dan.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened with the whole thing at the end of the episode last week?
What was it again?
Caelynn and the call for power.
Ah, right. Let's throw that in there. They're approaching the dock. Caelynn heard a meal call from below decks. Of course, come to find out it was not a meal. As she went down the stairs, turned the corner, and from the corner of her eye, she turned to see that the space she just walked through at the bottom of the stairs is no longer there, just a wall. The whole length of the hallway before her, below deck, no doors, and no just ends some 60, 80 feet down. The floorboards cracked, bent, and fell in, and she plummeted through them into darkness, where a voice asked her, said, you seek power? Well, I can grant that, effectively. You seek power to protect yourselves and those you care about? Make a deal. I can do that. So that's probably the best point to pick it up.
Who are you? Who's talking to me?
As Caelynn sort of looks around, sort of pacing around in a 360-degree view to see where the voice is coming from. It's just coming from all around. A benefactor. One that heard your pain cries for strength.
What do you want in return?
There's no answer.
Do you need an answer now?
No. My offer will stand.
Yes. Yes. I'll do it.
Very well. And this blackness, this emptiness that's around you almost becomes something tangible as it into you, like it's drawn into you. And you feel very, very powerful. Your head swirls. Make a wisdom check, if you would.
Okay. That would be a 10.
Okay. You cycle through all the different moments, not just traveling with this crew, but long before, when your heart had called out for power, for the strength to overcome something, to save someone, to protect yourself or protect someone else. And it ramps up with like a speed ramp. It's slow at first. You relive the time when your parents were attacked and you were but a baby. Going through all that you went through, living with your adoptive family, moments with your parents there, moments with your brother, moments with the guard contingent that you worked with, and so on and so forth. And it speeds up, and your heart beats faster and faster as these images flash, until just nothing. And Caelynn's unconscious on no one's found her, but you drop unconscious in that below deck there.
Okay.
All right. So Mort, you're up around the stairwell. You would probably hear the as Caelynn falls to the floor because you were nearby. But that's up to you since you were drinking. So play it however you like.
Who else is around me right now? On deck.
There? Were you there, Blueberry? Or you were?
I was at the front of the ship doing a. So I guess they probably stayed there.
Okay.
I'll go to the noise. To, I guess it's a door or stairway leading down to the deck?
Yes. Mm-hmm. You go down the stairwell, and look down the hallway, And you see, well, I think you'd be pretty familiar with Caelynn's armor. You see sort of crumpled up armor down there where she's passed out.
Well, I didn't really see anybody else on deck, so I'll rush over and try to, I guess, lift her up and check her, make sure she's okay. See what her condition is. And
sure, make a medicine check.
All right, let me see. It's been so long. Medicine. 8 + 1, 9.
9.
9.
Nice. It's tough to tell. Maybe it was the drinking, although you know Caelynn to be pretty stalwart when it comes to, booze and such.
Well, she is. Okay. So, I'm not going to leave her here. I'm going to pick her up and take her up on deck.
Okay.
We're kind of the same height, so it shouldn't be that tough.
Yeah. Nope. You manage it, and with the armor, you kind of prop her up over your shoulders, and you're almost pulling her up. As you reach the top of the stairs, Caelynn, you begin to stir awake.
Okay.
You find yourself slumped over Mort's shoulders. He's pulling you up to the top deck.
Hey. I'm awake. I'll kind of get off, slump off,
right.
And
I'll put her. Once I hear her, I'll put her down. Yeah.
kind of lean against the side of the wall.
You okay? What happened? You all right?
Yeah. The sea. It must have been something with. Does she remember, Dan? Does she remember what happened?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's a little muddled, but you remember.
Just, I just went below deck and just, I think just the excitement of what's to come and the sea, I think it kind of messed with my constitution. But I'm good. Thank you for coming down.
Oh, okay. Gave me quite a fright. It was odd to see.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, all right. You need help getting up the stairs, or are you all right?
Sure. I'll take the help.
Okay. I will underarm assist her up the stairs.
Okay.
To the deck.
You make your way up. Ding ding. You hear the dock bell ringing again. As the ship's now pulling sideways up to port. Ropes are being tossed up to tie the boat off and pull it into secure it to the dock.
Are you okay to stay by the rail? I'll try to maybe gather the others.
Yeah, I'm good. I feel a lot better. Thank you.
Okay. I'm sort of slowly back. So it's that was odd to say the least. So I'll start running around, I guess, and gathering everybody else to join us at the rail, I guess.
Okay. Galador joins you. Aaron Wen, somewhat disconnected, but beckons to your call, or heed your call, comes over.
I go over too.
Okay. Brewer comes over. Galador asks, yes, are we packing, or is all well?
If you could, I just want to maybe, with your medical knowledge, just give Caelynn a quick once-over. She sort of had an episode downstairs, lost her sea legs for a bit, and I found her unconscious on the floor downstairs. So if you can give her a quick, just to make sure everything's okay.
Of course. We've been through quite a bit. 13. You're okay with him giving you a quick medical check, Caelynn?
Sure.
Okay. You can tell he has no clue what he's doing. He has a -1. So just sort of like holding your arm up and like checking for a pulse in the back of your neck. And like, yes. Everything seems to be fine.
Thanks. Yeah, I think I feel fine. I think everything's good.
Good. I suppose we should grab our things, and it doesn't feel right departing, but I suppose we can't stay on the ship.
Yeah.
Time to go ashore.
Can I go to Brixie's quarters and see if anything's left of hers in there?
Sure, yeah. You find there, gosh, I can't remember where Mello is. If it's with, I think Mello's with Seb.
Yeah.
Okay, you said last week that he was in, that he was with Seb. Yeah.
Okay. But you do find, her, I imagine her, I guess she would have had her staff. You know what? I will check with her and see if she left anything. In the meantime, I'll say that you find a box of no particular dimensions that will release later.
I will take that mystery box and look at it at a convenient later date.
Okay.
And I just kind of give the room a little once over and just and go back to the others.
Okay. And Galthorn and Aaron kind of go down with you, not to her quarters, but to theirs, and just listfully pack up their stuff and bring it back up to the bridge, to the main deck.
I think Caelynn already had her stuff packed from last week, so she probably just grabs it and just gets ready. What is his name? Is the
Lionel?
Lionel?
Yes. Is he around?
Sure. Yep, you can find him.
Yeah, I'll go. Are we looking good to port? Are we going to be porting soon?
Yep. Give us about 10 minutes or so. We'll get this ship roped off, secure, gangplank down. Looks like y'all got your belongings. Look, real sorry about your friend there. You're clearly a group of heroes, and I'm sorry. I don't feel right taking the funds you gave for her travels, seeing as we didn't make it all the way with her. So here's some coin back.
Oh, okay.
Drop some gold coins in your... I'll figure out the math, but he brings
Okay.
some back.
Caelynn would just end up giving that to Mort anyway, so when you figure it out, Dan, just let Frank know.
Okay.
Well, it's been, it was otherwise a great voyage. I have no complaints. You and the captain are superb.
Medicad. There's a bit of a trek inland till you can arrive at any sort of stable port. We're going to dock here, but take a smaller ship in. Holds about 10 people.
Okay.
I'll head with you and a couple of my folks here. Just to see into that entrance area to Khal Daruhl.
Okay.
But take your
Sounds
time. All right.
I'll go and relay that message to the group, to whoever's on deck.
Okay.
Quick question, Dan.
Yeah.
Is Bon Ladir, is that where the dwarves are, or were they on the island but like separate from this place we're going to now?
Well, as you are now docking at the island, you see that it's fairly barren landscape. A lot of dark black jagged rocks, some large and small and large rock formations craft the whole coast here, including at the dock. You haven't seen much of any life on top of the island. The volcano island is Bonleder. The dwarven city, Khal Daruhl, is beneath it.
Cool.
Lionel, the turtle, keeps a straw in his mouth all the time, sort of, nods and turns to get one of the boats set up and finish the safety, securing the boat to the dock.
Is Rigby getting off here, or is he continuing to sail on?
Well, we'll say that he's there with you, sort of looking out. I think he'd probably want to talk to you about that, actually. Well, it's been quite a journey.
How are you going to handle, say, a few weeks from now?
I don't know. I can practice my meditation, but I think it might be safer to see if they have any means of teleportation in this city. I feel like they did.
Maybe worth looking into. Get yourself somewhere safe.
Yeah. I mean, what you said to me really spoke true, and I think that I also want to look for an opportunity to do some good while I'm here. You're a good man, Emil. You're a good man.
Thank you.
Thank you. I wouldn't have seen this coming if you told me I'd be here a month ago. Some hope.
Yeah, hope.
Do you mind if I travel with you all for a bit till we get into the city? If that's asking too much, no worries. I understand.
It's fine by me.
Excellent. Alright. Gonna go get my stuff then, and I guess I'll see you all down on the dock. He gives you a nod and kind of scratches at the beard he's grown and walks down to his cabin. Everyone collects their stuff unless there's anything else you'd all like to do here. Okay. Otherwise, another 15-20 minutes, the boat's secure, gangplank's down, you head down to the dock. And let's see, I think I've got a different image for the transition here. Yes. So you walk down the dock that disappeared past some of the rocky ledges, rocky outcroppings. And now that you're on it and you can look down, the dock itself runs a few hundred feet inland. And when you walk down and finally reach the end of it, there are Lionel's come down with a rather large lifeboat that, again, can hold like 10, 11 people comfortably. And they are on the other side. Let me just open up that. What's that? There we go. Nice view in there, hopefully. All right. And this is what the inner part of the island looks like. This is where you'll be traveling to approach upstream here to find the actual entrance to Khal Daruhl. What do I need to bring up here? My notes. Okay. And so you all climb into the boat. Boat rocks as you settle in and tuck your bag and goodies in between your legs as a number of sailors from the lee side take you in. And it's probably a good 40 minutes or so of rowing in and around these natural bridge formations here. Water's calm and steady. A number of birds fly about. At one point, just above the clouds, you see an enormous shadow of a bird. You're not sure if it's just that far above where it's casting a larger shadow or if it's just a really large bird. But you see that flying above the clouds and swirling about the island. Clouds parting, rays of sun shining down. It looks really beautiful through this part. Very naturesque. A lot of plant life, fauna, and flora. And you make your way all the way in until you reach the center, not the center of the island, but you reach the entrance to Khal Daruhl. Let's see if I have that.
Caelynn. Does any of this look familiar to you, Caelynn?
I've never been here. I mean, maybe when I was an infant, but nothing that is familiar looking.
Okay.
Yeah. My elven parents found me when I was just a baby, but it wasn't here, it was elsewhere. In the area where my birth parents died. So.
Are you still okay to be doing this?
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. It will be educational? Is that the right word? It'll be a learning experience, but I'll be happy to learn more about my people and my parents, hopefully.
Okay. I just kind of cuddle into her leg.
I will accept cuddles. And I will feed. I'm sure I have like a biscuit or something. I'll give it a biscuit.
Yeah.
Nice tongue.
All right. Let me just share this out. Did I share that last one out to you all or no? Did I just share it to myself?
I didn't get anything.
Okay.
I only got the early what you shared out before start of stream.
Bad. There you go.
Ooh,
man.
Yeah, it's picturesque. It's a beautiful. Contrary to all the high seas and everything, the waters are very peaceful. You see little fish swimming. It's clear to the bottom as you row through here. The birds flying, and there's just a cool breeze racing through this alley of stone and water. Ultimately, though, you approach the main. There's a dock, and then these huge stone steps that lead up to a gargantuan stone gate. Beautiful, very Gothic style architecture to this. And I will make sure I share this one out to you. There we go. Oh, I did. Let's just do this then. All right, welcome to the reception level of Khal Daruhl. All right, let me close this one out for our viewers. We'll get this.
And we're just coming up to the gates on the left.
Yes, correct.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it fits nicely.
That we finally get a spelling.
Yeah, so you're all approaching. You know what I might do? Put Maybe I'll set a little tiny grid here. And put your characters out on it so you can walk around. Nah, I don't know. What do you think? Is that kind of boring? We'll put you out there just in case you want to move yourselves around and be like, what's this building?
Ooh, cool.
What's up, buddy? Alright, go get that ibuprofen, the little chewable one, okay? And bring it to me, please. Thank you. What? Alright, I may have messed up placement there. Hopefully not too badly. Everyone should be down there in a huge huddled mass.
Green blob.
Have all tokens.
Teeny tiny tokens.
Itty bitty living space. Nice head. All right. There are currently no guards. This gate is just closed, and there are about 6 small, humanoid-sized doors within these 2 massive wooden and stone, wooden and iron gates that are currently bound shut. But those little 6 ones are closed too, but they're regular human doors.
Is there anything to ring or to like any kind of mechanism that I can see to summon anything? Anyone?
She wants to know if there's a door lock that can be picked.
Nice. You see in between a couple of little gargoyles that have, the metal rings that are knockers for these little doors. Knockers. You see knockers.
Okay. If I'm guessing since the Dwarven City, I can reach.
Yes. Yeah.
Good point. Very good point.
I will knock. I will use one of the knockers as hard as I can. I will use it.
Sounds like prom night.
Oh my.
Yep.
Is that quote phrase? That's
Oh, you went there. Oh my god.
Not lost on me.
Maybe it's quote 1 that I keep it as that? Ugh, jeez.
So many
It'd be
quotes.
great if I actually knew which one it was. Maybe 2.
You need a chart, Dan.
For real. I gotta print that out. All right. You knock and it echoes through the hall. Awesome. Right. And little slider. I mean, it's like Wizard of Oz. Opens up. Hello? Who's there?
Stormforge. I'm here to claim my property, and I'll wave the, the piece of bark.
Gotcha. Yeah. Sorry, just a sec.
Nope, you're fine.
Everybody. Why don't you try laying on the other side while the medicine works, okay? Yeah, okay. Everybody. I know. The sooner you go lay down, the better, Fallon.
Can I get water though?
Yeah, you can finish that one, okay? Or you can get your own if you want. I don't mind. All right, go ahead. But then scooch upstairs and lay down so you can get the rest, okay? Everybody. Sorry.
Okay.
Quite all right. All right.
I remember those days.
Yeah.
Growing pains were the worst.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, he seems to get them the worst. Yeah. All right. Ooh, I'm sorry. Let me mark off more. Oh, you did. Good. More on the roll here today. All right. The dwarf is kind of looking at. Hold that up so that I can see.
I would just like push it up against the
Nice.
thing.
All right.
Is that close enough for you?
It's close enough. Who are these people?
This is my traveling party. They're my well, traveling party. Where I go, they go.
I'm sorry, but we're not letting anyone in the city right now. Slams it shut.
Well, that's unfortunate. I will knock again.
Okay. Easy. Slides it open. Gotta break the door.
So how do I get in the city to get my property?
Persistent.
I will, you know what? I'm going to take the hammer
Mhm.
from my back and just kind of hold it at my side. Not in a threatening manner,
Yeah.
but just kind of in a way that he can see it in case it means something.
Okay. Is that? Oh, by the gods. Oh. Gotta have my arse chewed out for this. Alright. Just a moment. You can hear a big bolt sliding from the other side of the door.
Finally.
The wooden door opens up. Alright. Everyone in.
Okay.
Lay down, buddy. This will help. Okay.
Nice one.
Sorry, I'm gonna be quick. I'm gonna bring him upstairs real quick.
Yeah, no worries then.
Thanks.
Go, please go.
All right, buddy. Let me see your cup, please. And thank you.
All right, so we rush this guy at the gate.
Yep.
Go right to City Hall. Get the
Take the city.
Yep.
We're already inside, guys.
Hey,
God.
If we scale the walls,
we have Brewer toss us over the walls.
We're already inside. Walk to the open door. The door is completely open and everyone just starts climbing.
Yeah.
perhaps if we built a large wooden badger.
Yes.
But
Trojan.
remember, this time, get inside before you knock on the door.
Since we have a 20-second break, I'm going to go grab more chocolate.
Oh, go for
Oh.
it.
Sounds like a plan.
Damn. What did I do?
I just ate the last of mine.
Boy, that was a wistful sigh if I ever heard one.
I regret everything.
I regret nothing.
I'm really hungry now. I gotta go downstairs. My dog's asleep.
All right. So,
You got Dan carry you downstairs.
what's that?
Yeah.
Said she needed to get downstairs. I said you could have Dan carry you downstairs.
Nice. I've got
I
you.
heard Dan's good at that.
Awesome.
just appears and is like, whoa.
What? Not cool, Dan. Yeah. All right. So let's see. Where were we? Yada yada yada. He opens up the door, and
Just opened the door and he said, come on in.
And he gave us some gold.
nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. As you walk into this area, you're inside the gap between the large wooden and iron doors, maybe a 20-foot gap or so before another set of huge doors. It's really dark in this room because there's only a few slits for arrows, and there's a second level up above. So those with dark vision can kind of see. Anyone that doesn't, it's really dark. The dwarf, you can hear his footfalls kind of walking away from you over to the other set of doors, and he knocks on it. Doom, 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 doom. And you hear some mechanisms releasing as the two doors push some loose stone and dust aside as they open up into the city. Just opening up wide enough, maybe a 3-foot, 4-foot wide gap to let you all in and to see the sprawling city before you. There's effectively, as you can see, it's built in kind of concentric rings where the houses are built on platforms as best they can to allow for ramps to drop down to the lower regions. At the very bottom, there are tiny little docks. You don't see any boats. There is water. It has a black... it's moderately dark down here anyway. The city is lit with orange, yellowish fires and lanterns. They dance like regular flame, but their brightness is at a much higher level than normal fire would provide. But there's a darkness to the water in the center there. You see a number of... I don't know how far you can see through the city. You can look across, I guess, because of the way it's designed. What else would you notice in here? The area you step into has a number of motorcycles.
Wow.
For a second, I really thought you were doing like sound effects, Dan. I was like, wow.
Nice. That's
Take it up a notch.
That's a real motorcycle.
As the
Amazing,
local
Dan.
biker group goes by.
Yeah.
Davidson.
Nice. There's quite a few different guardhouses and secure buildings here. You see a line of archers atop a number of them. Some have, bow and arrow trained on you. Others are just watching and waiting. The dwarf that's leading you just kind of push, once those doors are open, he steps to the side, remaining in the room that you're all in. Well, you can take that token over to any one of these guard buildings, and they'll take care of you. Take care of you. Tell you where to go from there. I don't know much beyond that, but they give you any trouble, show them your hammer. Truth be told, I didn't think you were really a Stormforge. It's gonna be one of those nights. A Stormforged. What? That hammer is something of legend?
Muted.
Oh yeah, I couldn't hear you.
Oh, why do you doubt? Why do you doubt my leniency?
Well, tokens can be forged, but that hammer can't. No one's been in a Stormforge estate for some time.
Wasn't the hammer forged? Isn't that how hammers are made, is forged?
Aye.
Dwarves are confusing.
Dan, has the guard noticed Brewer yet?
Nope. Not with this super pathetic roll perception check.
That's a good on the hammer. Well, I thank you for your help.
He turns to walk back in. The gates are open to you into the city.
Okay. I'll be going in.
I'll follow.
We're off to see the wizard.
Okay. Eckert. I'm just kidding. All right. As everybody piles in, you hear sort of a grunt from this guard behind you as he does, in fact, spot Brewer walking by him, inevitably. Oh! What? No. And he's sort of like in denial about it. Nope. Out you go! Knocks on the door again to have it close up. She entered the city. This is going to be interesting. Okay, so you enter the city. There's a number of these guard posts around. There is a particular building sort of centralized in like a semicircle ring. Around you is a couple large openings, doorways in these buildings across, sort of built over this semicircle bridge almost. So you could just pass through, but there's a building right in the center that seems to have, through the windows in the front, you can see a waiting area, some clerks behind counters, as opposed to the other buildings here seem to be mostly guard towers.
Yeah, I'll stop at that one. Stop at the little building and the bridge with the windows.
All right. You make it about halfway to there. And about, I'm going to say maybe it's 100 feet from this gate to this building you're looking at. So 50 feet. And you hear, with a greatly amplified voice, someone shout from up on the second tier of this semicircle, "Halt!" You look up and you see a very old, weathered dwarf, white hair down in the one big braid below his chin, a couple small ones from sideburns that come down, hair up, and he has like the undercut and the whole man bun basically up behind his head, and this white dwarven hair, and he's speaking through what appears to be a megaphone, sort of just a trumpet with a handle, sort of like in Harry Potter. With whatever that thing was called, the megaphone. It sounds much louder than it should, so it's probably enchanted somehow. And he starts walking down the stairs. Do you halt or do you continue?
No, I'll halt and I'll hold out my arm, signaling everyone else to do the same.
Okay. You hear the click of everyone standing into the same stance, all the archers, all the guards in this area. Chink, chink. Bows all drawn on your group. Guards with swords filling in the passageways to walk into the city as this particular individual comes over. Oh, come on, OBS. Don't mess with me now, OBS. I didn't need that tonight. Okay. Slowly, he walks over.
Slowly and seductively, he walks over.
Nice. He has what appears to be a great sword sheathed on his back, about the height of him. It's with a pommel coming up a little bit over his head. Almost broadsword-like. Very fancy armor. You can feel the arcana from it, across the way. A lot of silver and hard metals worked in. Even though it looks really strong and durable, it seems to move exceptionally freely, and you don't see any joints between the different sections. Somehow it's just shifting and moving in very small joints that you wouldn't be able to enter. And he approaches.
as he approaches, I'm not going to do anything apart from slightly take like 2 steps in front of Caelynn.
Okay. What's his name? That's awesome. All right, Blueberry, you do that. You step up in front. Come on, notes. Don't fail me now. There we go. Clans. All right. He comes up. And he's got a very stern look about his face. Giant, like Jacqueline, bushy eyebrows, white eyebrows, and he kind of looks over all of you, but a lot of his attention is spent between Caelynn and Brewer. All right. Well, state your name. He looks at Caelynn. Down at Blueberry, as Blueberry is sort of standing right before him, between he and Caelynn.
Might not have picked it up.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Caelynn said Caelynn Stormforge.
Stormforge. Huh. There hasn't met a Stormforge, and kind of looks at the hammer. Where'd you get that?
It's mine.
Yours.
And I will show him the. I will hold out the claim, but I'm going to be holding on to it because I don't want it to be taken.
Let me see.
I have this. You can see it. I just hold it closer.
Nice. Okay. He kind of, takes another step sort of toward Blueberry and kind of leans over him to look at it.
I am a Stormforge. And who may I ask I'm speaking to now?
Garden
my
Earthgrip.
Arden Earthgrip?
Garden.
Garden.
Garton.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I don't know about your claim to be a Stormforge, but you brought something interesting in here. What's your purpose in bringing that in? He kind of nods up to Brewer.
I don't know about your claim to be an Earth Grip. How do I know you're an Earth Grip?
Am I an Earth Grip? He shouts up and, yes, sir! The whole, there's an echo from that.
Oh, it's word of mouth enough. Good, because she's a Stormforge. Let's move on, shall we? And I just look at him right in the eyes.
Nice. Oh, you know what? Make toss an intimidation check on that, because that's pretty on point.
Oh, good. My +0. 9.
All right. He doesn't appear fearful, but does seem to have a little more respect for. You garnered some respect from him. All right. Well, that's the issue here. Stormforged or not, I need to know what your purpose is in bringing that in here.
Did you just refer to my friend as that?
Mm-hmm.
Or can speak for himself if you want to ask him.
You don't control him?
Brewer, do I control you?
Looks down. No. You do not, Caelynn Stormforged. Looks back at Earthgrip guy. All right. What's your purpose here then?
Property.
And Brewer says it's Brewer. And my purpose is my own. Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know.
He's not here to hurt anyone.
That's what they're built to do. And they do it well.
Then why is his name Brewer? Does he just brew really bad alcohol, or does he maybe have more than one purpose?
And he's not the one with arrows trained on you right now.
What in the... And he looks down at Blueberry. Like, what in the...
I'm gonna suppose that you know that you've read your own history, and know that not all Warforged were built for fighting.
They were built for fighting. They may have had some secondary purposes. Kind of looks up at him. He's going to do insight. And you don't really have to roll anything because you're being honest. Roll a persuasion check, Caelynn, if you would. And I'm going to have Brewer roll one, too.
Something I excel at. Yes. That would be a
Alright, he's got his thing up in
16 total.
a
Nice.
man bun.
Look at you.
Well,
Oh,
did not
okay.
last very long. Hey, Lily, do you have a hairband I can borrow for a moment? Lil? You have a hairband I can borrow for a second? Thanks. All in the name of roleplay. Thank you, sweetie. Well, of course, I have no idea how to do a bun, but maybe if I do it like this. Well, I suppose. What's your business then here, lass? And friends? And Khal Daruhl?
To claim what's mine. As a Stormforge.
Kind of like blows some snot out of his nose.
Circumstances took me outside the city. Now I'm back.
Well, your claim will need to be checked by the tribunal.
Are you on the tribunal?
I am.
Excellent. Let's get started.
We have to convene everybody. Actually, I guess it wouldn't be a tribunal because there's more than 3. But the high whatever, the high court. All right, listen. You can walk around the city. Stay up here in our reception level. You'll have guards on your tail, keeping an eye on you. We'll send a message your way once we've convened the High Court. We'll hear your claim. If what you say is true, then we'll owe you an apology.
How long will this high court take to be summoned? Just out of curiosity.
Oh, I think once a Warforged is mentioned, it shouldn't take much time at all.
Are we talking today? Tomorrow?
Less than half a day.
Okay. I look forward to your word.
Kind of waves around to everyone. They lower their bows and arrows, and he lets out a loud clap as he turns to the guards, and they clear the way. He kind of looks back, like not all the way at you all, but just sort of over his shoulder.
I am still looking at him.
Nice. Keep yourselves out of trouble while you're here. I'll see you all soon.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Spits down onto his side as he walks away back into one of the guard barracks.
I'll turn around and be like, and that is why I sometimes am so glad that I was raised by elves.
Nice.
Oh, is that dwarves? I thought he was just being a jerk to us. Or was it both?
not uncommon, or at least the dealings that I've had with them, which are limited. But should say something. I guess we should probably find a place to just relax or get some history, or is there a tavern or like a?
Oh, taverns aplenty.
I was going to say a restaurant, but obviously a tavern would do.
Awesome. All right. Yeah. Taverns abound here. Let's see. I mean, if you're looking for, are you just looking for the closest one, or like the biggest or smallest, or anything in particular?
I guess probably a larger one. Well, yeah, probably a larger one because that way we might be able to
Blend in.
blend. Absolutely. I think Caelynn's logic would send us to a larger one.
One with high ceilings.
Yes.
Nice.
Caelynn will turn to Brewer. Are you okay with kind of relaxing here until we hear from the tribunal?
He looks about. I can accept this. I can accept this. It's a little more Warforged.
We'll protect you. We won't let anything. We won't let them bully you. I won't.
We have come too far and paid the piper, as they say.
Caelynn will kind of smirk at the usage of phrasing, but right, yeah. Caelynn will also kind of touch Emil's arm and thank you for putting up for me.
Emil just kind of grunts a reply. He's still scowling.
Well, let's find a tavern, I guess, and just kind of wait.
Okay, as you scour the city, you do find a rather large tavern, very not ritzy, but they have strong, sturdy tables and chairs, very sturdy. Plenty of different ales and hard drinks, and the standard, water, juice, and things like that as well, of course. It's called Stone's Blood. Excuse me.
It's called Stone's what?
Stone's Blood.
Okay, Stone's Blood. Okay. At first I thought you said Stone Butt.
Oh, I want to change it to that now. That's hilarious.
It's canon.
There's a dwarven woman, probably the human equivalent, probably 60s, so that would make her dwarven like 350 years, 300 years, somewhere around there. Has some like auburn hair mixed with mostly white now, and she's working the bar.
Okay. I will. Are there any like tables available?
There are. Yep. There's some more shadowy areas. There's some in the mix with a bunch of people that are in there. It's probably a good 25, 30 people throughout this very large bar that can probably house like 120, 150 in total.
Let's get a shadowy area that's big enough for the group.
Okay. There's a corner table, of course, a bench in one corner and chairs around the other. It seats about 12 people in total. You pull up a seat.
Do you guys want any food? Or is anyone hungry?
Always.
Okay. I will go to the barmaid.
I'll go too.
Okay. Oh, welcome to the Stone's Blood. What is it I can do for you today?
Glad to be here. I would need looking for what kind of food are you offering today?
Well, we have typical meat and potatoes meals. We have your fancier bird life from up above, plenty of fish. Stews. We have hearty sandwiches.
That's good. Can I get a big pot of stew? Not stools.
We've got plenty of those, but I don't. I mean, if
Can I get a large pot of stew?
aye, absolutely.
And some biscuits and kind of meats on the side.
Certainly, we have some roast beef and some some ham and some turkey. We've got a bit of a mixer plate.
Awesome. Just enough to feed 8.
All right. So Brewer's walking around with you, right? Is what you were you
Yes.
asking? Okay. She kind of looks around and pauses as she sees the table you're at with Brewer. Oh, all right. If you're getting drinks, first round's on the house. Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Certainly. Let me know whatever you need, okay? And we'll make sure you're taken care of.
Okay.
All right.
All right. I
Thank you.
kind of slowly back away and go
Nice.
to the table.
Okay.
Things got awkward quickly.
A round of drinks comes out first. In the benches, in between the different seats, there are little bows in the backing of the wood behind the seats where keg sits in. So she brings out and loads a keg in there and latches it in. Keg on the house, and here she passes out some steins, beer steins and such. Then goes back to prepare the food.
And before she goes back, can I ask for some water, please, in a bowl?
Oh. She kind of looks up at the Warforged and back at Blueberry that's
I
asking for
will
water.
pat Blueberry on the head.
Yes.
Thank you.
Of course. She kind of bows a little reverently at Blueberry. She runs back, gets some water first. Comes back with the food after a little bit. The food's really good. If you're into like a meaty stew, it's delicious. The carvings of the roast beef and turkey and what was the other thing? Ham and such. There's a whole cheese platter that comes with it, and bread to cut and make sandwiches and stuff. Some veggies, tomatoes, onions, lettuce, things like that, to make your own, whatever you want to make.
I'm going to follow the barmaid back to the bar when she, after she if it's her delivering the food.
It is.
I'll follow her back, and I noticed your start at the group. We don't mean you any harm at this establishment.
Of course not. No, I'm sorry
Okay.
if
No. May I ask? I'm new to this area, but I have family here. May I ask why you were startled at the Warforged? Is it just because you're not used to seeing them?
Well, it's just the legends, tales passed down through families about the Warforged, or well, they're not typically, not for children. Let's say.
Right. Well, I assure you, the one that we have with us is friendly.
All right.
He wouldn't hurt a fly unless he had to.
But he could decimate that fly into next month if he wanted to. But
Yeah.
I'm glad to know he's not like those in the stories.
Yes. How much do I owe you for the food and drink?
Oh, well, let's see. And she breaks out a little abacus and does some quick figures. Oh, just 3 silver.
All right, I give her 5.
Oh, well, you're too kind. Thank you.
Now I'll go back to the table.
Thank you for your patronage. She goes back to serving the others. All right.
I'll sit down at the table and be like, this may be a interesting visit. I have to admit I didn't anticipate. It makes sense, but I just didn't think about it. I was so caught up in everything else. I didn't think about the response people would have to Brewer. No offense to you, Brewer. You belong here.
Well, this is just stupid. Brewer's harmless. Everybody can see that. Grumble, grumble. Emil's not eating or drinking. He's just kind of throwing grumbles into the conversation.
Nice.
Yes.
Why don't they like Brewer?
There are a lot of legends about Warforged, and they're just not that common. So, whereas we take them to other places in other parts of the world, and they may not exactly know what he is, the dwarves probably know what he is.
Okay.
And they fear him because of what they've been told they are.
But look at him, he's so friendly. Yeah, look at that.
Oh God.
It's terrifying. It's like the Terminator without its skin.
Yeah. I will do my best to appear docile.
You already appear docile, Brewer. It's just people's misconceptions.
Just be yourself, Brewer. You'll be fine.
Thank you, Emil.
Arrgh.
You hear a loud group of people entering the tavern. You seem to be in an argument of some sort. And you hear two women yelling and a guy in the mix. Well, of course she'd be here. And the guy said, well, yeah. I mean, did you think I was going to let you get here first? And the other woman's like, what are we arguing amongst ourselves? We're all here, and that's what matters. And they burst in to the tavern and scan the room. Are you trying to be stealthy in your corner?
I would not with a Warforged.
Yeah, that's
probably
true.
not.
Limited stealth.
If I heard them arguing, I'll probably look back towards the entrance.
Okay. As they're scanning and you're looking over, one of their three dwarves, one a fair bit older than the other two, one of the females a fair bit older, and the older one looks very matronly, red hair, probably 250 or so in dwarven years. The male is significantly younger, probably around your age. And he has brown hair, and then the other female, another dwarf, has like an auburn, a mix between the two colors, somewhere in between the two. The older woman looks over and catches your eye as you're looking over, and she kind of looks like, oh, I think that's. And they start walking over towards your table. They approach.
I get up again.
Yeah,
and
you and me, let's do this.
Yeah. Let's have 'em. I'm gonna then again just cover Caelynn just to make sure they can't get too close.
Okay.
Emil's going to step in front of Brewer and say, "Greetings, friends. Have you come to receive the blessing of Hermod?"
The younger woman's like, oh, no. Oh, by the gods.
Yes, by the god Hermod. Very good, yes.
Oh. The male sees Blueberries and, oh, who's a good puppy? And he leans down to try.
I would watch. I would, yeah. That's.
The
He
older,
is a good puppy, but he's also protective.
oh, so adorable.
Get my hackles up and I start growling.
Oh, all right. I don't want any trouble. And the older woman looks in a soft, caring way, Caelynn. Are you Caelynn? Caelynn
No, I'm not.
Stormforge?
I'm Emil.
So I think that she was. It's okay. It's okay. Yes, I'm Caelynn Stormforge.
Nice. Oh, dear. I'm Lord Ida, Stone Trust. I am your aunt, twice removed. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Wow.
Insight.
Oh, go for it. She holds a hand out, the forearm to forearm shake to see if Caelynn will. She seems to be telling the truth, Emil.
Would I know that's how you greet? Would I know that greeting, Dan?
Yeah, let me get a history check. You're a sage,
Okay.
so yeah. If it's 11 to 20, yes. If it's 1 to 10, no.
Okay, it's a 13.
Oh, okay. Yep, you're familiar with it.
Okay. All right. I will do this. I will shake her forearm.
Okay, she draws in a little bit closer as you do, and you can see a little tear building up in her eye. Oh, she's just sort of examining you as in disbelief. Well, sorry. So this here, is Kennegut. This is your cousin. That's my son. And over here is Bathilda Rockfell. She's your cousin too, but she's on the other side of the family. We heard that there was a Stormforged here, and they gave you a load of shit out front, yeah. But we know you. We know your name, and you're in our family tree, and we're here to vouch for you before the council, for whatever that's worth. But mostly just to meet you, dear. I met you once before, long ago, when you were but a babe, and I haven't seen you since. And you have grown to be quite an individual.
I think Caelynn would just hug her.
Okay. And she hugs back with a big hug and whispers in your ear, I think it's time for a bio break. And sneak that in
That's a
there.
strange thing to say.
Yeah. Do you have any pots of stool?
I'm sorry.
A hot, steaming pot of
Are you
stool.
trying to say that I need a shower or bath?
I think it's time for a bio.
You're in need of a break.
Nice. Oh, you're in. Awesome. Thanks, App. All right, so for those who don't know, we take an 8 to 10 minute bio break. I'm going to go make some fresh coffee and maybe find a snack.
Coffee.
Yeah, I think so.
Neat. All right, catch you all back here shortly. Yay! There's a place you gotta go. I'm the one you need to know. Oh, excuse me. Oh, you're making me things. Yeah, you can do that. It's not like arthritis where it takes a long time. We do a lot of typing, especially with those GPT. Oh, Nothing else. We have coffee. Because they don't hear me talk that often. You hear me talk all the time. The sweet tea, like I was not ready for that after we moved down here. Oh my gosh. That's iced tea. It's bartending at the Alamo. The sweet tea is one of the things. It sounds good. Sugar. So much sugar.
My nana makes tea, and she had to stop putting so much sugar because she was like giving herself diabetes.
Oh my gosh.
Like, she put like 4 cups in 1 gallon.
Oh my gosh. That's like coma level.
Yeah, and she would like the gallon would be gone in 2 days.
Do 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 do.
Are you the sport? Lily loves saying that.
So for those watching, I'm trying to roleplay Emil as being angry right now, but you know, just trying to add a little grumpiness.
Wait, where did you go?
I think Emil might be a little bit. Just because stuff in the last episode, I think, without doing a deep dive on Emil's sadness and shock and stuff, anger is a pretty reasonable first place for Emil to go. And since the dwarves would be probably pretty surly to outsiders, I think it makes sense that Emil's kind of emotional state would manifest as anger.
I think you're role playing it very well.
Thank you. Just trying not to overdo it.
No, it's good. It's good.
So I finished my chocolate that Ed sent me. It was blood orange dark chocolate. It was quite good.
Ooh.
I've got my purple dice unpacked, but I kept forgetting about them, so I was rolling with fantasy points. I'll try to remember next roll to actually roll naughty dice. Oh, I should go see if I can find my player's handbook so I can level up.
You're gonna give me more bruises. I don't need any more. Real lily shuffling.
That's awesome. It's a lily train. With spork and napkin. Ooh, all right. Good times. All right, let me catch up on some chat. Steph hasn't had coffee for 3 days.
Yeah, she's trying to calm down her system.
Gotcha. Grumpy meal is pretty fun. Yes.
Yeah.
I love the grumbles.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I should change the tweet for when we get back. Oh, I guess I can do that. Nightbot.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's like I would buy chocolate, but I don't know if it would make it till Friday night. I have to put it in a lock safe, not until.
Come on for the show. Oh no, I have to.
With a timer lock on it so that it only opens like 5 minutes before the stream.
It's like magical sealed vault.
Yeah.
Love it.
Cold mist will wash out. Definitely backlit with a big gold light.
Fart, fart, fart. Alright, I think that's all set. If there's a place you gotta go.
All right, my spell slots are so confusing.
Oh, really?
1/3 your rogue levels plus your cleric levels, I guess.
Yeah, some multi-classing fun. Let me. You know what? I need to open up those docs anyway. Let me go do that.
So I think I now have 3rd level slots, but no 3rd level spells.
I think so. Mm-hmm. That sounds right. Let me pop it back open here.
Well, they won't. I noticed the slots don't open up until we take a long rest.
I have a 3rd level spell. What?
Nice.
Very nice.
Bam. All right.
That I can only use it once per short rest.
Oh, sure. Well, that's not bad.
Oh, not too bad.
No, short. I mean,
None. Is that? Okay. So 1 level of that, 1 level of cleric. So 1.
little this, little that.
The 3rd of your fighter rogue levels rounded down. It doesn't say minimum of 1, so it's just 1. So until you get 3. Oh, no, Dan, you fool. You have 3 of 9. Right?
You fool.
Yeah,
you fool.
I'm like a 70s Batman. You fool. Kapow.
Holy Batman.
Nice. So you would effectively be 4th level, Emil, because you have 9 points of rogue. So a third of that would be 3, plus 1 level of cleric, which gets you a full point. So 4.
But I've just taken my 2nd level of cleric because we said we're 11 now, right?
Oh, okay, nice. All right, yeah. So you were effectively 5th level on this multi-class spell caster spell slots per level thing on page 165. So you're effectively fifth level because of rogue is still 1/3. So 2 cleric plus 9 divided by 3, because it's 1/3. Let me just, where am I? Here we go. Okay, use this total to determine your spell slots by consulting the multi-class. If you have more than one, yada 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 yada.
Well, that's nice. I thought he would be only able to do 2nd level cleric things, but he can do 5th level spells. Up to, well, not 5th level spells,
no,
but
that's just
level
the spell
5
slots.
cleric.
Yeah. He has.
Oh, for his slots only. Okay.
Yeah, this is just for slots. So you have 4. Actually, let me open it up in case it's not done in your character. In case Fantasy Grounds doesn't do it automatically. Oh no, you're already in there working on it. Okay, perfect. Yep, 4 1st level, 3 2nd level, and 2 3rd level. Perfect. And so as far as spells go, it's separate. Whatever you get for rogue level 9 with your what's it called, the arcane trickster, the archetype, you get that, and then additionally you get whatever a level 2 cleric would get, including cantrips. And I'm pretty sure clerics don't learn spells per se; they know them all. It's just which ones you prepare each day.
Yeah.
Oh.
But that'll be based on cleric level 2. The only thing that they kind of combine with multi-class is proficiencies and spell slots.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some things like extra attacks of 2 class, but I don't think that applies. I don't think clerics get extra attacks. I don't think they have unarmored defense. And they don't. I mean, they have channel divinity, but rogues don't, so. Awesome. Sad day. Yeah. I don't know. We're seeing actually moderately make it. Maybe the coffee. It may be just, the fun of the game here. Probably around 3. I don't know. I mean, last week I was up for hours. It was like a processing.
Hashtag same.
Right? It really takes a while to throttle back from an episode like that. So we'll see how tonight goes. Whew. All right, I think we're all back here, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump back in. Emil, if you end up with any questions, please let me know. I'll be happy to answer anything.
Yeah, I have one, but I'll ask it afterwards.
Ah, okay.
I don't think I'll need the spell right now, but I'll ask at the end of the session.
Ah, neat. Okay. I'm going to toss in the chat here our lovely tweet option. Again, try and get this spiel unlocked so I can say it quickly, not harass everybody. For anyone that isn't able to cheer or subscribe but still wants to find a way to help support us, tweeting out is an amazing way to support us. There's a link there that will take you to a pre-generated tweet that you can alter if you see fit. I change it at the top of each episode and in the middle so that it says something different, like "We're back from break." It's effectively what it says now. And that just gives us some great exposure. So much appreciated if you can. If not, don't worry about it. Okay, let's do this. All right. So I'm going to get back to my notes after I just do a couple likes. Thank you, Stefan Ronde. All right, where were we? Lornida, right? Lornida, the Stone Truss and the Rockfell are there. Okay, so she sort of introduced herself as your aunt, and she saw you as a wee babe, and hasn't seen you since. And Kennegat is her son. Bathilda Rockfell is your cousin on the other side of the family. They heard that a Stormforged was back and heard your name and knew it was you, and they're here to support and to meet you. Some of them to meet you, some of them to see you. Okay.
Would you like to sit down and join us for some food?
Oh, only always? Food? You had me at food. And she is smelling and looking at the food there and sits down. And the other two sit down as well. Mind you, Kennegat is still like sort of hung up on Blueberry's cuteness. Like, oh.
I will put Blueberry on the other side of me, like away from.
Nice. Oh, the puppy.
I've relaxed a little bit now that Caelynn's hugged.
Okay. His mom's like, stop! Leave that puppy alone.
Mort's going to lean back and give it its best Spock eyebrow and like, how are they dressed in comparison to everyone else?
Let's see. I've got sort of a mixed crew in this particular tavern because it's large and has quite a selection. And in fact, you have maybe like a middle class of people here. They are dressed, these three, in clothes a little bit finer than most here.
Okay.
But not at the super ultra nobility level or anything like that.
No, I just wanted to see where they were in the strata, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
They're gold diggers.
My thoughts exactly.
Nice.
Yeah. Just popping up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Oh, look at us! We're here.
Where were your long lost relatives?
They scan like you. They scan Caelynn and the table, and there's like an empty spot next to Mort. And Kennegat goes to sit down. He's like, oh no, after you. And then they kind of pass the buck a time or two because before the aunt's like, oh, don't be so ridiculous, and she sits down next to you, Mort. Of course, there's a bit of a clash between most creatures from the Underdark, races from the Underdark, and dwarves. So, but the aunt's like, shut up and move over. And I'll sit down. The other two do sit down, a little embarrassed by their show.
All of these people are my companions, so you can feel comfortable around them. I trust all these people with my life.
Oh, and they're sort of listening to you like, oh, all right, and looking at Brewer, and sort of like, not whispering, they're not being rude. Yeah. Oh, we heard that there was a construct with you. Some people were saying it was a Warforged. We didn't believe it.
I would think being so close to the birthplace of the Warforged that everyone would be a little more not absolutely not used to them, but
Oh,
not as awestruck.
oh, I think it's more fear than awe. Yeah, we have.
I think it's more hostility than fear.
You make a fair point. We're raised with warnings about Warforged, the mistakes that were made in forging them in the first place, and to never repeat that mistake again. Now, mind you, whatever their origin is has been lost to time, but all we have left are scary tales and warnings.
You don't have anyone in the city who's tried to build one, or
No, there's what do you know about forging? About the process, dear Caelynn? Maybe I can fill in some blanks for you.
I know that they're forged only with a specific sort of forge, and it has to be magically imbued, and there has, there's some high class artificing and going along in that, and it's a hefty process for sure. But I thought, with so many people in the very birthplace of them, with the history and with possibly being able to find a forge that could be used or to construct one.
Oh, well, there's so much to tell you. Well, I don't know where to start. First, a warning for you and your friends here. Outwardly, people will be very afraid of I'm sorry, what is your name? And she looks up to Brewer.
Thank you.
And he kind of looks over, also raising an mechanical eyebrow section to his face a little bit. Brewer Smith. Oh, Brewer. All right. Well, watch yourself, Brewer, and you, Caelynn, and friends. Outwardly, common folk, they'll be afraid of you and afraid of what he can do, afraid from the tales. Some might be aggressive, but those aren't the ones that you need to watch out for. You really need to keep an eye out for those that would seek to use him. Even though it's forbidden, there are plenty that would use the power. There's a lot going on here right now, and over the past, where's my notes? Over the past 3 years here, been a bit of an upset in power, and some of the head clans in the high table, well, they'd like to get their hands on something like a Warforged. So, but I'll tell you about that in a minute. Let me answer your first question, or your first thing I can tell you about the forge there. As the stories go, passed down from generation to generation.
Like leaned in.
Nice. This isn't just any forge we're talking about here. I immediately think of the SpongeBob episode. We're not talking about this. We're not talking. We're talking about the. Sorry. Okay. We're talking about the Wraithstar Forge. The lore says that Moradin himself approached the sun and through sheer force of will stole some of its very core to use as fuel for the forge. This is an ancient forge by the god of the dwarves, built by the god of the dwarves, Moradin himself. I don't think that we could build another forge to do what that one did. Mind you, lore says it's still down there somewhere in the deep. There have been excavators and archaeologists and such, researchers that have gone down there looking for it, but without some sort of guide or map, I don't think there's any way to find it. Too many roads and tunnels down there.
That's understandable.
And
So the only forge you've ever heard being used to build Warforged.
Aye. And there's the method is unknown too. But Warforged. She looks back up at Brewer. Incredible. Ah. Well, the other matter at hand. As I mentioned, there's been some unrest here. There's a vacant spot at the high table. All the main clans are vying for dominance right now. I should back up a bit. The Grimston's Borth died recently, about 3 years ago or so, and a new one has yet to be named. And you speak Dwarvish, right? Of course.
Yeah.
Okay, and anyone that speaks Dwarvish in the group knows Grimston's Borth essentially means Hall's Chief. It's gender neutral. It's like the king, sort of, but it's the chief of the halls, the one that rules and has final say over the High Council. So the pre-existing one died 3 years ago. A new one is yet to be named. Now, some clans, these other clans at the table, the High Council, they seek to undermine others, but currently most believe the best ways to the throne is through the deep. Just last month, she kind of glances around. Rumors speak of lost caverns being discovered. Some rumors say it leads to that very ancient forge, the Wraith Star Forge. And the one that gains the forge gains the power. Would you, a true to name Stormforge, returning? They're gonna see you as a threat, lass. Stormforge had a place on the council, you see. If you're back, you would have a rightful claim.
Did the clergy not have some sort of a say in this whole process?
No. There's a presence here. Most of us serve Moradin. Some serve other deities, but it's more of a personal matter here for us.
So the government's decided by greed and not by the gods.
Sometimes by greed. Things weren't always this way. Even a few years ago, when the last Grimston's Borth was still alive and ruling, things were fair. Things were, well, good.
But power is the enemy of justice and good, I understand.
Aye. And these last 3 years have been nothing but a struggle for that between the members of the High Council and, other people seem to pay the price with that.
I would guess you mentioned that some of the people in the council are looking to go deeper into the caverns or find a way there for the power.
Aye.
Are they afraid that they will access the forge down there?
Oh yeah, it's like a race. Now the rumors are likely unfounded, but I think that they're just vying for any lead they can get. There's 4 families currently that are on the council: Earthgrip, the Earthgrip clan, the Cragknuckle clan, Blackbrand clan, and Caskfury clan. Grey Sunder clan has lost its seat. They were oops, where's the Burneth Grey Sunder is the previous Grimston's Borth. died under mysterious means, mind you. Common belief is it was an assassination. Very hardy, Burneth was. Died in his sleep, though.
Any ideas who could have carried out the assassination? Which family it was?
I don't know. Everyone has their finger in a pot, as it were. Earthgrip they runs the defense for the city, and the arse at their head.
Yeah, I ran into one coming in.
Oh, did they give their name?
Garden.
Yeah.
Oh, Garden. Yeah, he's the arse.
You're telling us.
Yeah. It just has no... Oh, I don't know. He's missing a lot. I don't think that he would be behind an assassination attempt. He's very direct. Just a piece of shite. Cracknuckle clan? Well, they might have had something to do with it. They're a little more secretive. A bunch of brawlers they are. Run things more like a mob than a clan. Blackbrand, well, they take care of matters behind the scenes. A bit more incognito, you might say. I don't think that's really dwarven work. But they could certainly have something to do with it. Now the Cask Fury clan, they were close with the Grey Sunder clan. But there's no telling what happens behind closed doors. The point being, though, there's a vacant spot. You're a member of the family that used to be on the council. I see that you have with you not only Brewer here, but the Stormforge hammer. Where did you find that, dear? I thought that lost for good.
I found it in another forge.
Oh. Interesting. Was it, here?
No,
No.
it was 2 continents away.
Wizards. Mages. Some are good, but some are all about knowledge, power. Unless it was in a regular smithy, was it? Did it make its way to some... Oh, okay.
No, it was definitely it was in a magic college. In a magic college in a forge.
I shouldn't go right to blaming wizards, I know, but I've had some bad
What have you
experiences.
got against wizards?
Oh boy.
Oh, you're right, lad. I shouldn't. We just had some some bad luck here with wizards. But I know some are good, some are just fine.
We've had some bad luck, but not always with wizards.
Ah, I see. Please tell me, dear, where have you been and what have you been up to? I'd love to know about the past... Gosh, how old are you? Is it 100? No, it's... I can't remember.
I think it was like 116 dwarven years.
Okay. For the past century, that's so much time to miss.
Yeah. I was taken care of by another family. About, again, 2 continents away from here.
Oh, well, I'm glad. Was it a good family?
It was.
They treated you right?
They did. Yes, the family treated me fine. They were elves.
Was it so? Well, I'm thankful they took good care of you. Kinda
So is it
gets,
mostly dwarves here in the city, or
Aye.
do you have transplants that many from other places?
Oh, sometimes, but less so recently. The oh, come on, notes. The previous Grimston's Burneth was looking to integrate more. One of unpopular notion, certainly, but to many, but not most. It's good for business, and it's good for, I think, our society. But those are my thoughts. Kind of gets like mouthful of, ham and roast beef. So, yeah, well, I think that so I agree. I think that we should see. I love meeting new people, elves especially, and talking dogs. This is all very interesting, and we could use more of it. It gets stale here, stale.
If you don't mind me asking, if you're Caelynn's aunt, which one of her parents are you related to?
Oh, well, we're on, I guess we'd be on her father's side, and, it leans over to, Bathilda. And of course, Bathilda here's on, the mother's side. I'm sorry to hear.
When you say father's side, are you Caelynn's dad's sister?
And Lornida says, yes. Yes, her father's my younger brother. Was.
What were they like?
Oh, fine folks. Fine dwarves. Full of love. Expert craftsmen, the both of them. Your father, well, he worked a lot with armor and weaponry, and with a hammer in his hand he could craft just about anything. Your mother, well, she was always into tinkering, and had an engineer's mind. Could break something down, figure out how it works, and build it twice as fast, twice as good. Of course, with the loss of your father, she went through a really difficult time.
She went through a difficult time?
Oh yeah. She returned, she'd lost you and your father.
Well,
She
survived the attack.
Yeah. Dear, you didn't know she... Oh.
I didn't have any. I was given to my adopted parents upon my father's death, and I just assumed that they both died.
For a good decade and a half after she was, I hate to say it, bless her soul, but probably as good as dead. She was in shock when she came back. Oh, when she was brought back. It took a good 3 months to heal. But would only speak in gibberish. Barely ate. Needed round the clock watching. We did the best we could. But she disappeared in the night about 15 years later. I had hoped she'd gone to find... Well, they... No, they probably would have assumed you were dead. Gone to a better place, or found something she'd been missing.
She was alive this whole time. I didn't know.
I'm sorry, dear. She loved you very much. I hope you know.
Neil gets up and leaves the table and steps out the bar altogether.
You'll we've recently had a loss in our group.
Oh no.
We're not at our best currently.
I understand. Well, maybe we can take you out of this tavern and get you into a proper warm house full of the love of your clan.
Do you
For
live
and
close?
We have a modest dwelling. It's not here in this area. It's in about 2 levels down from here.
I wouldn't mind seeing your place if you wouldn't mind taking. I will allow my compatriots to decide if they want to stay the night.
Dan, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Character?
Mhm.
What were the dwarves that we're talking to? What were their second names?
Whose names are? Oh, the people here.
Yeah.
So the aunt, so Lornida Stone Trust
Stone
is
Trust.
the aunt. Kennegut, which is Kenugut. Stone Trust is Lornida's son and Caelynn's cousin. And then they're both on the father's side. Bethilda Rockfell is a cousin from the mom's side.
Gotcha.
And just as a note, you might you'll recall, Caelynn, probably. What's his name? Earthgrip there had said Garten Earthgrip had said you can't leave this first tier until the thing's convened.
Oh, yeah.
She doesn't know that, but she...
That's a good. I just remembered.
Yes.
I just remembered that we have to stay on the first tier until Garten is going to go and try and get the council together to heal, because I have a claim for my property. So
Good for you. Oh, it'd be so good to see that place full of life again. You might have some clearing out to do. That's right down on the edge of the deep. I don't think anyone's been in there for a century.
Now that you mention that, what is what? I noticed that there is a darker place in the middle of the city with the water. That there aren't any boats, but there are piers.
He kind of looks around and kind of scans, a lot of you. Again, so there's a few ways to get down different levels.
Are those the caverns?
Well, beneath that lake is a bit of a... some leftover magic from one of those wizards I spoke of before. It can be used to rapidly descend into the city. But it's not very safe, and so it's not used frequently without someone knowing what they're doing.
Interesting.
They
Okay.
can send you elsewhere.
So it's arcane in nature.
The wizard before it opened up a something about a weak fabric between the prime and the fae, and opened up a connection between this lake here and one in the Feywild.
Oh,
There's a lot of crazy in the Feywild.
we've ventured the
Oh.
Feywild before.
Really?
We're what aware.
I can't wait to hear your tales, young Caelynn. Been to the Feywild. Whew.
It's been quite a journey.
Out of curiosity,
Mhm.
is Caelynn one of the people who remembers the Feywild?
Oh, that's right.
I know some of us forgot, right?
Right. Did
The
anyone
three of
remember?
us forgot, but Dan didn't. I think that you said that we got our memories kind of back.
Oh,
at
it
one
was
point.
the Lesser Restoration, I think,
Yeah.
returned them. Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry.
No
Yeah,
problem.
you're fine.
a messenger enters the tavern. You can kind of tell because he has a satchel with mail sticking out of it. Mail time! No, just kidding. And he comes in, and this is a human, probably 13 or 14 years old boy.
He's a human?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Interesting.
Comes over. And he sees Lornida there, who's moderately well known. Yeah. Oh, and then he sees the Warforged. I have a letter here for Caelynn.
That's me.
All right, here you go. And passes it over. I just have to wait here until you read it, so I can confirm it was read.
Okay. I will read the letter again.
Okay. He kind of stands here fidgeting, picks his nose a little bit.
I'll kind of push a plate of food towards him.
Oh, thanks, ma'am. He starts, nibbling on some food. And it's a letter calling you to the High Council. And this is, let me bring your old fantasy ground back up. Let's see if I can zoom in here and move. Where are you, Caelynn? Where are you? There you go. If you were to go into, I'm going to put you on this little plateau over here. That plateau enters the build. You're up at the top left, near the top left. I'll zoom in.
Okay, yes, right. Yeah, I got it.
That building houses the one of the High Council's meeting chambers here on this particular ring.
Okay.
I'm just going to zoom in for our viewers. There we go. I'll spin you around so you're facing it. Huh?
Spin me
Right round, baby, right round.
Nice. Awesome. I'm picturing like Brewer with the emo, like the thing over it, like that. Flock of seagulls.
Please.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or poor George. All right. So that's where the building is anyway. We've been summoned there.
Okay.
The boy's like, all right. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
What's your name?
The name's Taylor.
Taylor.
Yeah.
It's a surprise to see you here, Taylor.
Yeah. Well, I was on a boat. Well, then there was no boat, and there were just a few of us that made it here, and kind of earned my keep. So here I am.
You said he looked about 14, Dan?
Yeah, 13, 14.
Okay. I'll give him like 5 silver.
Oh, thank you, ma'am. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Be careful.
Yes, ma'am. And he scoots out of the building with this thing and stuff. Awesome.
Alright. Well, this letter is summoning me to the High Council.
Oh, well, dear, would you like us to go with you?
I mean...
Vouch on your behalf.
Sure.
All
The
right.
more the merrier?
Sure. They stare down at us from those high seats. We'll stare right back at them. A lot of us.
Thank
Give
you.
'em hell, right?
A little nervous, if I be honest.
Oh, you hold all the power here, dear. You do. You are a Stormforge. You've got the hammer to prove it. You've got us. You have a right to that claim. You've got a Warforge standing behind. Excuse me, but a Warforge standing behind you. They have everything to fear here, not you.
Yeah, we got your back, Caelynn.
Can it get
There's
to
some scratches on the head.
Callaghan, don't you dare touch her.
Whoa. All right. Oh, you're so cute. And gets up from the table. Goes to walk out. Mind you, Bathilda's been fairly quiet this time. And as you know, her aunt and cousin are getting up, she does walk over and just softly walks up and puts a hand on your shoulder and then just kind of slides into a nice hug for you and just whispers in your ear, "It's good to meet you, Caelynn.
I'm going to kill you.
Oh God, no.
Sleep tight." Yeah. It's amazing. All right. So they're ready to follow you. If you're heading out, mind you, Emil is outside. Emil, are you just outside in general, or is there a place where you'd like to be in the city?
No, I'm just outside the inn, kind of. I would say chilling, but I think Emil is not very chill.
I'll before everyone follows me, I'll duck my head out the entrance to see Emil.
Okay.
Do you want any food or drink before we head to the High Council?
No, I'm good. I'm not hungry.
Okay. All right. I will gather everyone together.
Okay.
And we're off.
Dun, 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 dun. You find your way from the inn. It doesn't take long. Up a few ramps, around a corner, up another ramp to that plateau, and you have arrived at the buildings. A number of guards, many guards, stationed outside each door, looking out a number of the windows. There are archers up on top of the building. Not as many as the main entrance, mind you, but plenty. And you are halted at the door and just given a once-over, asked your names, or asked your name anyway, Caelynn. And Ornida's like, "It's bloody her! I'm here! We're here! Let us in!" And what you do? Nice.
Holding up my clave.
Nice. Yep, and you make your way inside the building. You're all sat in a large sort of reading room that's effectively a waiting room in this instance, and then you're made to wait like 45 minutes, which is sort of stupid, and a power play on their part. Do you want to wait? Like, I mean, we'll say like 15, 20 minutes goes by. I mean, there's one door in here that leads further in. Would you like to wait until they call you? Oh, sorry.
Are there any books? Are there any books around or anything, or just a blank waiting room?
Dwarven magazines.
For real, yeah. What would there be in here? No, there's
Play dwarves.
nice. Oh, it's like beard braids, like 5 pages down. Flip, 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 flip. That's amazing. This is a 70s one now.
Yeah. Yeah. Classic.
I don't know when to stop. Sorry. That's the name of the issue. It's terrible.
And on the inside, it's stamped, "This magazine stolen from the Dwarven High Council."
Nice. Amazing. There are some carvings and etchings on the wall, really detailed, like pictogram sort of things. Not like puzzles, but where it depicts different situations and different stories are told with etchings in the wall. If you want to look at / read those. There's a lot of black marble in here. There's a contrast between white marble and black marble. Gold trim, brass hinges, doorknobs, and other small bits around the room. Again, these dancing fires that don't seem to throw any heat. Look like flames, but the brightness is about twice what you would expect normally. Illuminate this
I
room.
will go over to one of my relatives. We'll go over to, is it Renata?
Let's see.
No.
Bathilda?
Bathilda.
Lornida. Oh, Bathilda is your cousin that said it's nice to meet you. Mm-hmm. Your
The one
aunt
that
is
the one that was talking to me was
Lornida. Lornyda. Mm-hmm.
okay. Notes upon notes upon notes. I'll go over to Lornida, so that's what I've been speaking with the most. So what are those? What are the lanterns that are around the city? They're not fire.
Oh no, those have been burning since I was born, and since our great grandmother was born. Those are ever burning flames. They can't actually burn you, thankfully, but they never go out.
Wow.
Something from the time of the war.
So just the arcana just keeps itself going?
Indeed.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Some of them are ensconced here, and the wick itself is what's been enchanted. Other places, as you move further down into the city, have just torches. By about the 5th level or so, they're just standard fires, standard flames on torches that illuminate. The closer you get to the deep, or the bottom ranges of the city.
Do you have a lot of arcana users among the dwarves?
No, these are relics from the time of the war. We had many back then.
Yeah. I would guess probably there are probably a lot of dwarves who, out of fear, don't deal with arcana.
It's taught so that we don't misuse it, per se. We don't foolishly attempt to use something and then hurt ourselves or so, our clans or the city. But only so much is learned. Just enough for safety. Not enough for practical use, really. To some.
Yeah. Understandable.
Just an out of... Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
So since they're making us wait, and Emil is super grumpy, I'd like to make perhaps a religion check to see if I could find a particularly fire and brimstone passage in the holy text that I'm slowly reading to learn up on Hermod, and see if I could perhaps read it out loud.
Nice. There
In a
is.
passive-aggressive way.
Awesome. Yes, and like the one of the warning sections against like cheating and using things like underhanded tactics and stuff like that. I mean, not quite that on the nose, but things akin to that. Some some warnings. Yeah.
That's what I'll do.
Nice, and it does have a nice echo through the chamber here. Now, so do you all have, just as a possible reminder, if you have this, I feel like Sterling Sam may have given you a map to something. Didn't she have
does Emil have?
There was a map where she was talking about the forge.
If I'm flipping through my new notebook, like there are notes somewhere inside, but there are not. I have to switch over. I kind of remember a map, but I'm not sure. But I don't think it was this time. I think it was, or maybe it was this time.
I think so.
We may have a map.
Okay, I'll double check my notes. I'm pretty sure that she had talked about when she found this information this was your stuff, but when she's talking about brewers,
Yeah.
she said in those same texts, the ancient texts that she went through, she had extrapolated from a number of different maps what she thought might be the location of the the Warforged origin. I think is where Brewer was pointing.
Was she showing it to Brewer?
Maybe she was showing it to Brewer.
Okay. Yeah. I
so-
think I was listening in, but I just assumed that Brewer had the map.
Okay. So he's not gonna. Actually, let me roll for Brewer because I don't know if he's gonna be like. Okay. he's not going to say anything here because
Okay.
you're at the council.
Yeah.
All right. So, Ophelia, you're hearing that. I'm going to say the time is hustled up a little bit, maybe half an hour instead of 45 minutes as Emil continuously talks about the danger of the fire and brimstone of it. They'll see you now. A dwarven woman opens up the door. This way, please. Soft-spoken.
Okay.
You walk into a very long rectangular room, probably like 300 feet long, and maybe 80 feet wide. Along the right-hand side, up about 2 stories. It's a 4-story opening. This giant room with a bunch of pillars that run down, except in the very center. As you approach that, she guides you over to the center and turns you to the right. And when you look up, 2 stories up is this opening, another rectangular room up there that has the 5 seats. The one in the center empty, and and everything's fairly dark down here. But torches light up around them, and then around you on the pillars, sort of in a circle just around you.
We're dramatic much.
You see, oops, all the wrong buttons. You see Garten, Earth Grip up there, all the way to the right. Come back to me, notes. Okay. And another 3 families that haven't really introduced themselves yet. It's Garten, of course, that looks down. All right, a lot of you. We're here to listen to your claim to the Stormforge family residence and the clan itself. Please present your evidence to Bettina there, and she will bring it to us for inspection.
I will reluctantly hand over my claim to Bettina.
Takes it and carries it. Just in the dark wall. There's an opening there with stairs.
Of course.
Like 4 minutes later, she comes out by the thing. Like, what is going
Just
on?
hear these steps keep going up and up and up. And up.
Caelynn kind of like under her breath is like, this is ridiculous.
She passes it to the what's his name, Garten there, and yes, well, oops, I keep losing my notes. Where? All right, and he passes it around, and they all kind of look at it, and then as each one looks at it, they kind of look back at the previous person and mumble a bit. And Garten stands up from his little throne seat and starts pacing back and forth between the others, in front of the others, looking down every so often, like not even really acknowledging all of you, but then every so often kind of looking down. Well, the claim appears to be valid, but those can be forged. Do you have any other evidence?
I will. Well, you've already seen this. Hold up my hammer.
Nice. Arcs here and there. The mumbling increases.
Do you need a demonstration?
Yes. That would be great.
Wasn't expecting that.
Let's see if it's the real thing.
I guess I would do like throwing it and having it boomerang back to me, Dan.
Oh, okay. So you pull it back and you turn to the side and you spin it with an arc and it goes around the pillars nearby, around like 3 of the pillars and back in your hand.
So badass.
Garden kind of crosses his arm like, and turns to talk to the others. Bathilda yells out, Are you bloody kidding me? She's got the damn hammer. We're all here vouching for her. There's a Warforged trail in her. Brewer's his name. And, she's got the writ. She's got the claim. What more do you fools need? And her aunt, Lornida's like, Bathilda, no. Shh. But Bathilda's had enough. She's like, hands up in the air. And Garton kind of looks down. Well, we need to take a moment, take a recess, discuss this amongst ourselves.
Wouldn't it be great if the gods blessed the dwarves with clerics that could determine truth independently of politics? And I'm going to hold up my holy symbol of Hermod as I ask that question aloud.
Nice. Oh.
Or have the dwarves turned their backs on the gods?
Oh, and he gets sort of feisty with that. No. But Moradin doesn't believe in any of that. There's no need for that. We need to be strong for ourselves. Determine what's right and wrong for ourselves.
Not let our leaders do it for us. I understand. Okay.
Oh, and he kind of grunts and turns back to the others. One of the others, they all kind of get up to walk out behind them, behind the chairs. But one of them, as they stand, walks forward instead. Takes a few steps forward. Female dwarf, probably maybe 250, 260 years old, best guess. Platinum blonde hair, really dark eyebrows, and gosh, I'm not good at greens. Light green, as I can't think of a proper green color because I only like forest green. So, but her eyes are and her gear. Sort of long ceremonial robes are also green, a green that brings out that colored eyes, and gold trim. And you can almost see the glow to her eyes from here. Not an actual glow, but just the clarity of the green. Well, I, for one, believe that she is who she says she is. I do not wish to waste any more time needlessly debating the facts that are right before us. You all know as well as I do that only a Stormforge can wield that hammer. She has this writ. Authentic. If she was not a Stormforge, we would not be having this conversation. You all are simply looking for power. Make her squirm, and I will not have any of that. Nor will she, by the looks of it. You think she can't throw that hammer up here?
Thought about it.
So, yeah. I think we all did.
Nice. Lornida, your aunt, leans in and whispers, "That's Lilith Caskfury. She's from the clan that was friends to the Burneth Grace under there. She's run the family for about, run the clan for about 100 years now or so." At which point Lilith introduces herself properly to you. "I am Lilith Caskfury, and I vote yea for Caelynn Stormforge to be granted that which is due her." One of the others stops from receding to the other room, looks back and forth, comes out. Jet black hair and beard, no braids, None whatsoever. Just this big mane of long black hair, beard that runs down to mid-chest. Hair, it flows back in this, like a dancing flames almost. Anime hair almost. I'm Iron Cragknuckle. And I vote yea for Caelynn, Stormforge, and all that is due her. And Garton comes up and he's like, oh, you can't do this. And you can hear him kind of whispering and muttering at them, and they're just being very official, and they've stated their answer and they're looking forward. All right. Another dwarf returns after looking back and forth at these, and she has all white hair, white eyebrows, sort of thin, gaunt face for a dwarf. Like maybe a few generations ago, there was a human or something else in her bloodline. I am Tevenoy Blackbrand, and I vote yea for Caelynn Stormforge and all that is due her. And with that, Garton kind of gives up. He steps up in front of his chair. I'm Garton Earthgrip, and I vote yea for Caelynn Stormforge and all that is due her. And Lilith, Cask Fury. With that, the decision is final. Caelynn Stormforge, you are the leader of Clan Stormforge. This entitles you to your land, to the hammer you hold on your back, and to a place on the High Council.
Thank you.
We do not know what has become of your family's reserves, gold and otherwise, but you will find the answers on your estate. A guide will be provided you to take you down to the Stormforge estate. We request that within a week's time you come and speak with us so that we can explain to you what's expected of you as a member of the High Council, what your rights are and privileges, and what your responsibilities are and expectations.
Understood.
We have adjourned. She turns and walks out, and one by one they all do the same.
Caelynn will bow.
Burneth gives like a rude gesture as they turn. Bloody idiots. She turns and pats you on the shoulder like, you shouldn't have to go through any of that. That's... But
It
I'm
was
so-
extremely unnecessary.
I'm sorry I spoke up, Zoe. Tried to keep my mouth shut.
It's fine. And Caelynn will kind of cast a side glance at Emil. But not too harsh, because...
What?
Maybe even smirk a little bit.
Nice.
Okay.
Your Aunt Ornida says, well, would you like to come with us to our estate, or would you prefer to go find your... Ours will probably be a little more hospitable than your estate, at least for the time being, but you're welcome to either. We can show you down to the Stormforge estate if you wish, or you can come stay with us for the night.
What time of day is it, Dan?
By now, it's afternoon, 3 or
Okay.
4.
I think I would like to at least see the state of the estate.
Right. Right. She chuckles a little.
Sounds like a Swedish.
All right. Well, let me see if she knows.
And you're welcome. You're welcome to come with.
That's kind of you. They, upon first inspection, they might not allow it. They might just have you brought with your guides for you to assess. That's part of the laws here. Not laws, but guidelines.
Well, it is my estate.
Right. They'll probably have you sign a waiver or something. Or if they're feeling ornery, they'll just say you'll have to go by yourself until you check it off yourself and sign it away, sign your approval.
Caelynn will get out her hammer and just kind of hold it at her side. I'll make sure they listen.
Oh, you are just like your mother. All right, well, let's be on our way then. And you head back out of the waiting room. And in there are some people waiting already. There's a couple of guides. One is a human male, probably 38 or so.
Oh, really?
He's grown his hair out in the dwarven style. Doesn't have the same fullness that dwarven hair often has. Where it's just it grows and grows and grows and grows and grows. But he has, some hair that comes down the sides. It's tied into like long sideburns, and a beard. Just it's all kind of fuzzy like this, except at the front where it's kind of down into like a half a foot little beard braided out. And then there's a female dwarf. There is the other guide, both wearing matching uniforms, matching clothing. And they
Caelynn will go to the male human.
Mm-hmm.
You're a strange sight to see here.
Yes, ma'am, I suppose so. Found my way here by accident, and difficult to find passage off the island.
Good for you. Just a note, Caelynn is probably going to be very interested in anyone that's like out of place, because she also knows what it's like to be like out of place in a place that's mostly one culture, one race.
Neat. Well, I'm your guard. For shame, Dan.
You need an inspiration die?
I'll be one of your guards today, Jeremiah Gertbart. And,
boy.
Yes, I've adopted a dwarven name.
Sometimes you have to adapt.
Yes.
Have you been here long?
I've been saving for passage off the island and a ship to take me for, a little over 2 years now. Yes.
You have a home somewhere else?
I did. Over in on Calborn. But who knows if it's still there, I suppose. I'd like to think my family's waiting for me, but I don't know.
Probably it's a personal question. I just know what it's like to be in a place where you don't really feel like you belong. So I hope that you get to go home soon.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Very kind of you.
Alright, we're ready to go?
Oops. Yes, I'm sorry. This here, and he gestures to the female dwarf. My name is Suskin Chipplejaw. I'll be your other guide here. / guard. Keep you safe and on the right path. You will be asked to assess your estate. And they do give you a little bit of a hard time with bringing your family along, but you give them a hard time back. And that's enough for them to yield to your
The
wishes.
Caelynn glare.
For real, your eyes narrow so hard, and they. Oh, all right, yes. They can come along with it. Would be best anyway, since the estate needs to be assessed. We'll show you the property lines and the original estate blueprints, and your family can verify such things if they wish, if they're aware of them, and so on and so forth. And then you will sign a note saying, a document here saying that we have shown you the land and its boundaries, and you are aware of them, and will abide by them.
There's
Sound
a lot
good?
of. It sounds good. It's a lot of political. There's a lot of politics here. No
Yes.
takes.
Well, they keep everything in order, usually. Anyway, let us be on our way then. She turns to head out, and Jeremiah does as well. As everyone starts to kind of walk off, Brewer comes up next to you and places a hand on your shoulder to stop you.
Okay.
Caelynn, something is stuck in my bag. And he kind of opens up his bag. Can you see what it is, please? lowers them.
Yeah. I will look into his bag. Can I see what it is?
Okay. You see in there a map that's relatively unfolded.
Oh.
And you can see... I guess you probably wouldn't really know what it is right here, but you can see an overlay of several maps, and then one section that seems to be moderately consistent along them, and that's kind of highlighted. And Brewer says, I'm going to have him do a check first. Okay. This bag obstruction was given to me by our friend Sam to guide me to my, he leans down a bit, origins.
Right.
Perhaps this will assist us.
I think that you're right. Do you want me to put it into the bag of holding? A bag into the bag?
He stands up, snaps up straight. Yes, this obstruction would be better placed in a bag such as that. Thank you, Caelynn.
Yes, I will take, because Caelynn has horrible charisma. Yes, I will take this bag of obstruction, and there is room in my bag to put the obstruction in.
Good. Then the obstruction will no longer be in my bag, and I will have access to my bag without the obstruction there.
Obstruction is gone.
Nice. Perfect.
Caleb turns back and is like, oh, ready to go?
Calathor or Aaronwin's probably just like, you guys are funny. Just kind of walk with you. Calathor would be like, yes, I'm ready to go. It's an interesting culture here, and yes. And off you all walk. You are brought down around the building, and behind it there's a tall opening that goes, it's just stairwell. and every so often you can tell you're passing another level down because there's a doorway off to the side that has like other stairs and other things that go off in different directions, but they head you down, down, down. They're going to bring you to the 3rd level. This, of course, is where your family members live as well here. However, you just pass around this outside route. You do like a quarter of the circle on the outer perimeter, not even in the city, but in the walls of the perimeter. And then you head out, almost as though you're heading away from the city. But again, it descends, it descends, it descends, it descends. Until you can... the smell to the air gets more damp and more musty. You see a lot more in the way of cobwebs and other stuff as you're approaching the bottom. The torches have all turned from the ever burning flames to standard torches. They're being lit as you're walking along. Every so often, every 100 feet, they light another torch. And in a doorway that is almost completely coated in cobwebs that they have to knock down. Finally, you step out into what appears to be almost like just open cave with paths winding here and there. Some up higher, like you can climb up to go to this path. Way down over there, off this way, a little miniature waterfall trickling off from a higher ledge down, out of sight below the ledge that you're on. It's mostly solid, but there's some little creative areas like that where nature's done some cool stuff. And an estate off to a very large estate off to the right. And your first guide there. Oops. Give me those guides. Okay. Suskin. Yes, well, this is your estate. Just as we exit the doorway here is where the property begins. It goes back as far as, and she points down some, almost 1,000 feet way back, down to that luminescent purple boulder over there. The crystals growing on that boulder. Yes, that's the back corner of your property. Let's continue this way. Do be careful, as sometimes there are things down here that can be dangerous. This close to the deep. This, of course, just ahead is the beginning of the deep. And you look forward. Again, lots of spider webs here. Lots of them. You see some bats flying about. And other, little movements in the dark. The estate is in relatively good condition. From the outside, it hasn't fallen in on itself. It was really well crafted, but it is dirty as sin. It looks so gnarly. But there's a beautiful door that has a semicircle above it. It's this some kind of stone that has this really deep red to it, and in gold at the top is this beautiful starburst pattern. With a almost like a sun in the middle rising over the horizon with all the beams spread out, and below it on the doors are different arcs of lightning and other storm kind of related things, striking anvils at the bottom. It's mirrored on either door, with a gorgeous trim around the whole outer edge there, and what appears to be solid gold. The door, she presses it open. It doesn't open. Yes, well, shall we force it open? Do I have your permission, ma'am?
Sure. I can help.
Oh, wonderful, yes. Go ahead and roll a stealth. Stealth.
A stealth?
Strength check.
What is inside this house?
Nice.
What am I rolling for? Strength?
Mm-hmm. Oh, or athletics. Sorry, you can do athletics too if that's better.
Oh yeah. 14 total.
Okay, she got 23. So between the two of you, on the count of 3, then yes, we'll kick. 1, 2, and she has kind of a smile on her face. 3. Boom! You both kick the door. Boom! Both the doors swing open, and this cold, stale wind kind of blows like backflows out of the house and across you, and it smells like not like mold, but like a overgrowth of mushrooms and just stale air and water. She's well, yes. Well, let us continue then. Yes.
Sure.
You take a few steps in, and you hear in your mind, all of you. Who disturbs me? Oh, dinner. Good. And that's where we'll end tonight's session.
Of course it is.
Of course. Of course.
What else would be it, Dad?
Huzzah!
Big.
Oh, all right. Well, we made it.
Yay.
There'll be some extra juicy fun next week. That's awesome, Emil. With all sorts of things, Brewer and Caelynn. And I can't wait to see what's cooking with Emil as next week carries on. We'll probably have Aaron and Galathor back to see how they respond to the area. And see what kind of wizardly hijinks Mort can get up to, and see how Blueberry fares down here, our barbarian puppers of cuteness and wrath. So don't mess around with Blueberry.
No.
Nice. Oh yeah, there's all sorts of stuff cooking here all around the place, so I can't wait. Anyway, thank you, players, as always. Phenomenal. Love it. Yay! I love the extra grudgy Emil.
Yeah, it's really good.
Hey.
Yes, and absolutely fantastic viewers as well. Thank you all for being here and being hilarious and being awesome, and for all the wonderful goodness that you bring, everybody. Thank you. You can catch us here every Friday night for Stormfall. It's 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. Eastern Time. And we have our All Evil campaign every Tuesday night, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. Eastern Time. And we might have a couple of other D&D things coming up. We'll see. I'll just keep teasing it until it either isn't going to happen or it is. And then it won't be a tease anymore. You're right. Yep, we've got Impossible Girls. Mariah's going to finish sussing out a new character, which will be fun as well. And we'll get things underway. So thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful night, and can't wait to get you soon. Bye!